Hello guys, welcome to another CBI tutorial. My name is Crystal, aka Crystal X on IMVU, and in today's tutorial I'm going to be showing you guys how to do a simple PVC texture for a room. I'm going to start off by using a 256 by 256 pixel template. I guess it's not a template, but it's just the image size I'm going to use. Usually I start for the transparency, and this tutorial was actually requested by EvaAleen on IMVU. So if you guys ever see her around, make sure you say thank you. Okay, so PVC is actually rather simple. What I always suggest you guys do is start off with a new layer group. If you're using actually Photoshop too, this applies to that. And start off with your color palette that you would like to use. I'm just going to do 5 simple colors for this tutorial. I'm not going to get too fancy. Just going to grab the colors that are right and handy and available for me. Alright, there we go. And I am a really big fan of pink. Unfortunately, this was not the smartest thing to do. Hold on 1 second. Because remember, when using this recording program, unfortunately, you cannot add layers. Well, you can't move your layers up and down if it's within a layer group. I would have been working all within that same layer group. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that. Oh well. Alright. Mistakes, mistakes. It's how you recover from them, right? Okay, let's get hot on this. Come on. I am trying to do this as short of time as possible. Swear every time I'm recording. Okay, so to me, here's what I like to do. Still gonna start a new layer group. I'm keeping that layer available just in case. And I'm gonna paint it black. Pure black. 6 zeros. And of course, a new layer. Alright, I'm gonna just, I just placed my little dot at 16 by 16. Doesn't matter where you place it as long as it's even. I'm gonna go ahead and delete that, duplicate this, and flip it both horizontally and vertically. Then I'm going to merge it down. And then I'm going to blur it. I'm going to use the Gaussian blur. I've heard this name pronounced so many different ways. I've been saying Gaussian, other people have said Gaussian, so I'm not quite sure which is right. However, I'm just going to blur it really high. Just so this will give it some nice contrast. And next I'm going to use my airbrush, a very soft brush, and I'm also going to place some guides. I'm going to place them at 128 by 128, both horizontally and vertically. There's 128 and 128, because it's right dab in the middle. There we go. Just go ahead and exaggerate the size here. And then I'm going to use that same blur. Oops, okay. Issue. Do this on a new layer. Knew something was wrong. And I'm going to do the same thing again, but with a smaller a resized airbrush. Concentrate a little bit more in the center. And touching too much blur, so I'm going to lower it. Alright, there we go. And now what I'm going to do with this whole layer group is place it in soft light mode. And no, this isn't quite PVC yet. It's just a nice contrast to the colors. It gives us some darkening on the edges and a highlighted center just to draw our eyes in. And now it's going to make a new folder. And in this folder, I actually will oh goodness, it won't go away. Okay. Now I've done this, there's no right or wrong way, but here's the way that I'm going to do this for this tutorial. I'm going to use a really harsh brush and I'm going to use it at 5 pixels. I'm going to try to get this even. There we go, 10 by 10. And of course, I'm going to zoom in so that I can actually see this properly and make a straight line. There we go. There we go. Alright, I'm glad I actually did it on the right layer this time. Well, on a separate layer. Gonna flip this twice, both vertically and horizontally. Merge it down. It's going to cut off any excess that I don't need. And I'm going to make this black, and I'm going to just invert it. It was supposed to be black originally. Just just going to blur this a lot smaller than, only need about 5. Place that in soft light mode. And now it's giving a nice little beveled texture almost. And what we're going to do now is use our a really thin skinny brush. I'm going to make mine 125 pixels. And now we are going to use a white one. And once you might have to stamp it a few times to get it to come out really nice and shiny like mine did. Thankfully it did it on the first try. As you've seen in my past videos, I've been striking out on my first tries. And usually I can do it perfect. Alright, so here we go. That shine actually came out really nice, so I'm going to just duplicate this, flip it horizontally. Alright, and this one I'm going to rotate 9 degrees. Sometimes this does not work, and it comes out really weird if you do it like this. Actually came out nicely. So, duplicate that one, flip it vertically. Okay, so if I back this up, as you can see, we already have a nice little PVC texture almost going on. Next thing I'm going to suggest that we do is grab that same soft brush we had before, and we're going to use the brush this time. I'm just going to, oh, we're going to do this in a new layer, of course. And you can actually use the same with, and just kind of pull it in the corners, kind of make it a little curved, if you can. A little curved pull. And actually zoom in. And after you do your major pull, just go ahead and make it smaller so you can get a more detailed. And don't worry if the center of it is getting softer. It's kind of the point, because you can always build upon it and add more. If anything, you can actually just soften this, because in some cases it might be too high anyways. Right, and I'm not gonna lie, I sometimes get erase happy. And I make it look too, make the edges look too harsh, which I'm probably doing right now, because I'm used to actually making clothing instead of room textures. But I know how to fix this. Easy, just make it bigger. And a soften it. Kind of. I might be wrong. May have been wrong, but oh well. Again. Alright, I'm gonna go back before I erase so much of it. There we go. Alright, actually, if you're gonna erase, make the eraser bigger so it doesn't erase as much. And then back to pulling. And blurring is really good. Should actually been blurring a little bit from the beginning. And now lower the opacity. Move it around to get comfortable where you see it at. I actually like it right there. Alright, and I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this and flip it both vertically and horizontally so that it's in the adjacent corner. And now I'm going to highlight over this one that I just did. What you could do is duplicate these and make it smaller. And just, so like this, duplicate it. Of course, auto crop it. Raise the opacity. And just make it smaller. Because it kind of intensifies it. Alright, and just layer it to the image size, and then of course you can just pull it. And sorry if you hear some noise in my background, my AC just popped on. And of course I'm going to lower that. Duplicate, flip twice. And then on that new layer, I'm just going to go in and draw it. Just going to draw a nice little high shine on top of it. You just need a little dot. Alright, I'm zooming. And now I'm just stretching and making it softer until my eyes like it. Okay, and I'm also gonna erase like crazy because I just love how the eraser aids. Okay, and of course duplicate this, flip it twice. And we now have a PVC wall texture. You can take it further and experiment with your shines. You can add more or less, of course. You can adjust your brushes, because those give you different shines and effects too. And remember, you can always add more. Same method. And you can pull less or more, because as you can see, just by you doing that little pull right there, it kind of gave it a automatic PVC shine. And you can just do little paint overs just like that, where you don't have to necessarily layer it like crazy like I did. Just draw it on there. Actually, this one could make a really nice corner one, and was about to conclude this video until I had an idea, so I'm going with it. I will be careful not to go too far, because I do get crazy sometimes and completely forget that I'm recording. But essentially all I'm doing is just pulling. That really is it. I'm just smudging and pulling white lines. That is PVC at the easiest. Okay, and again, I am like a whore to this eraser, but I've gotta be careful because sometimes it's not my best friend, especially when I'm recording. And God, I hate that I talk so much during my tutorials or whenever you guys these videos. It's just that when I can't play the music, I don't want too much silence, because I feel like that's even worse than me not saying anything. I don't know, you guys can tell me in comments and stuff what you'd prefer. Okay, so apparently I was actually right with that, wherever I was headed with that eraser, because that came out way... It just came out too shiny. Like, whoa. Like, I wanted it present, but I didn't want it that present. Not sure if anybody's understanding where I was going with that. But anyhow, there we go. Easy adjustment. Could also be that the corners, it's because these corners already shine that it looks too shiny to me, so of course I can just remove those corners and leave it like that. Okay, yeah, that looks a lot better. Alright, so I'm going to stop the video right here and say this, and this is Crystal, aka Crystal X on IMVU, and this has been how to make a PVC room texture. So thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe if you like it, and join my group Club Bubblegum AP for more tutorials and fun videos. Alright, bye!